You're not going to believe this, but the people that suffer most building product-based businesses, building hardware-based businesses are in fact, drumroll please, product engineers. Engineering and prototyping, when compared to mass manufacturing, are two completely different beasts. Oftentimes, product engineers are great at prototyping. They're great at designing files that should work. They're great at things that are logical and that make sense, right? They'll go down to a workshop or a hardware store and buy all of the little nuts and bolts required to put a product together. We recently had an engineer who became one of our clients. On his introduction call, he said something to the effect of, I went and I hand soldered all of the components that I bought off of Alibaba for this price. I hand soldered them, all of the pieces onto the product. I assembled it myself. Here it is, and this is what I think it should cost. When I heard that call, in my head, all I could think was, how long did it take you? Right? How much do you value your time? Because if that took you 300 hours, who's going to do that for the price that you made it for? Nobody. You have to factor in all of these different equations. So now anytime I have an engineer say something like that to me, all I can think is insert eye roll emoji. If you're a solid product engineer and you have a great grasp of what you're capable of doing, you know that this prototype can be made perfectly, and that if we do things right, it can be made perfectly in mass production and furthermore on scale. Good for you. That's great. That's fantastic. I have zero problem with that, and I applaud you, right? That is an amazing skill to have. However, even if you are that guy, try not to overdo it in prototyping, and there is one huge reason. You gotta sell this thing. And if you have a perfectly prototyped product that nobody wants, well, guess what? You're shit out of luck and you're just out a bunch of time and money, wasting your resources on something that didn't work.
No, God!
The point is, build an MVP. Build a minimum viable product that will allow you to see if there is any interest in the market for your product. Because without that, like I said, you get nothing. A lot of the times factories will tell people that they work with, nah, don't worry, we'll finish it. We'll figure it out after prototyping. We'll fix it in mass production. I am not suggesting that before you move forward with mass production, you shouldn't have a perfect product. You absolutely should. But before you get to that point, you still need to see if there's a demand for this product. Don't go in, spend 400 hours, and then sit there with the prototype not being able to sell it. Get to that MVP, understand what it is that you're making, make sure that it's all doable, but leave the fine-tuning for later on in the process. There are a lot of multi-billion-dollar companies that have the budget to fine-tune everything prior to launch, right? They can also afford it. And what they can't afford is being in a situation where they have to recall 1 billion units, right? That's a nightmare that they are willing to avoid, rather. Under-preparing is the worst. It's my least favorite type of client. The person that doesn't care about their product, that doesn't want to get into the details. But over-preparing isn't all that much better. You've got to remember that prototyping process and what it takes to prototype a product is very, very different than what it takes and the process to mass manufacture a product. Be open to change. Listen to your contract manufacturer. When they tell you we probably don't need to do this for the prototype, sure, ask them why, but take their advice. They've been there before. If you can simplify the prototyping process, you'll be able to get some market validation much sooner and much cheaper. And also you won't be doing a bunch of unnecessary work. Build the prototype, test the market, and then work on building your mass manufacturing process. Here is the key takeaway. It is crucial to balance the expectations and hopes of an engineer with the reality of mass manufacturing. And that's in general, that's just not just in China, that's across the world. Build a prototype, check the market, validate the market, and then build the product for mass production. I think that's great advice. If you take it, let us know. If you disagree, let us know. Sound off with any questions below. Talk to you in the next one. Peace.